Hey guys, let me switch this around. Just want to let you know the website there. Hello, how are we doing? Still vibing to Tyrese, yes y'all. Like I said, I'm a big fan of R&B. How we doing today? Good afternoon, everyone. KL Belvin here. Hello. Hey, that's my new adopted niece. How are you, darling? I'm glad to hear that things are going well for you, and you really made my day when you told me that some things that I've said has helped change some things for you. So your adopted uncle appreciates all that you have said to him. I just had a phone. Let me off the subject a second. I just had a phone interview. Hello from Russia. Okay, respect. I like that. Wow, Russia. Okay, appreciate that. I just had a phone interview, and let me tell you something. If there's anything more nerve-wracking is when you have a phone interview that's not directly lined up to what your line of experience is, and you're listening to the background of what's required for the position. I was about to hang up the phone. Then I caught myself. Thank you for the hearts. I caught myself and said, wait a minute. They took my application, they took my resume, and they set the interview. I'm going to do what I do. So when they started asking the questions, I answered the questions to the best of my ability, to the best of my knowledge, made sure that they understood that I was an intelligent. Hello in America. Yes, hello, how we doing? KL Belvin here from Brooklyn, New York. Now, hello from Russia. Okay, another from Russia. Hello. So what I wanted to do today is the other day, I said I was going to talk about the being an author and who I am as an author, but I was doing the scope from work, so I didn't get a chance to go through my books. So I really wanted to take the time out to go through some of those so you can actually see the covers, because I had talked about them. But thank you so much for the hearts. I wanted to go through the heart. So let me just walk you through some of the books that I mentioned and just give you a little bit of my literary history real quick. So my first book is my poetry book. This one right here. It's a Man in Transition. Okay, and I like the abstract cover. I like the fact that the gentleman is looking off into do not SMB has name Martin USA. I'm sorry, I don't understand that question, so you have to be a little clearer in that, and I can answer that question for you. So yeah, so this is my first book, A Man in Transition. Is my my poetry book, and again, the reason why the book was created was because as I transitioned as a man, I felt that it would be interesting to see what type of poetry comes and is created by a man who has changed his life. And so, as I said to you the other day, when everyone said don't sell poetry, I said I'm not. I'm going to sell me in terms of allowing the world to understand who I was and who I am. And so this is the cover of my first book. Now, in 2009, this wonderful book here, and I believe that Miss Gabriel is one of the people logged in. You will see that The Soul of a Man in 2009, this book right here, and I don't know if you can read the authors that are there, but there are some outstanding authors. And in this book in 2009, yes, was a game changer and a life changer for me. And I will always owe Miss Gabriel a debt of gratitude, because I wasn't sure if I had, in my mind, I wasn't sure if I had what it took to be an author. Because poetry and some simple things is what I had written. But I decided to apply to be in this book. And when Miss Gabriel responded to me and said to me that she wasn't sure where I was going with my story, and then after she got a chance to read it, she enjoyed it, and that she welcomed me to the lineup, and I was standing along with these other 12 soul brothers. And in 2009, this book won Best Anthology, and I was so proud to be part of an award-winning piece of work. And so Peace in the Storm publication, Elise Gabriel, please support her, check her out, because, and I'm gonna get to book number 2, but this book here in 2009 changed my life, because like I said, it was just a blessing to be a part. And when you get the chance to go through this book, you're going to find that it is a wonderful read. And so let's go through a couple others. And, oh, this is very important here. Let me back up a second. This book here by Mary B. Morrison. No, I did not write this book, Who's Loving You? But you see the name. Mary B. Morrison is the outstanding honeybee, by some people know her by, or Mary B. Morrison. She actually goes by both names and writes under both names. Well, in 2007, she heard me do a radio interview and asked me to write something for her book. Now, here is the funny part. Mary B. Morrison is an erotic writer. I am a faith-based inspirational writer. So I was like, how is that going to work? And I decided, after speaking to my wife, she asked me to write about our history. And that's what I did. So I wrote about the story between my wife and I, how we got together, how we overcame all the foolishness. And I submitted it to her and didn't hear back from her for a couple of weeks. And I thought I had played myself. And then when we talked on the phone, she said, no, I loved it. So if you have Mary B. Morrison's Who's Loving You and you bought it for erotic reasons, God bless you. That's your choice. But inside the book on page 294, I believe it is, you will find my story about my wife and I. And the blessing to this is a woman who walked off $100,000 a year job to write for a living. I hadn't published anything professionally at that point, and she felt that my words were strong enough to stand in her book. And that sent the message to me that I had something to go with. And so I went with it. And that's where, so when you put that together with the opportunity I got from Ms. Gabriel in 2009, I was now building my literary career. And I know I'm flipping around a lot now. The book that a lot of people know me by, this is my own personal memoir, and this is what I was explaining to you yesterday, is From Gigolo to Jesus. Let me stop moving around so much. From Gigolo to Jesus is my memoir. And as you see here, the faded rearview mirror, and that's really faded, the pictures of women, all different types of women. And it's faded because that was in my past. Over here, this light right here, you won't be able to see it on the computer, but that's actually Jesus in a yellow hue. And the sign here says Highway to Heaven. There's a cross in the window, which actually sits in between my name. And this is my memoir. And I put everything about myself into this book because I wanted to show what it really was to be who I was, and how being a misogynistic man, a man that just really disrespected women, what that transition was like. And so I am very proud of my work here. It has been well received. And again, all of these books are on my website. Here, let me bring that up for you if you want to see my website. This is KL Belvin's website, I'm KL Belvin. I hate talking in third person. www.bravenpublishing.com. Again, I wanted to make sure you had all the information from the other day, because I hate when I'm explaining something and don't have the information in front of me. So this is my website. You can go to my website. My books are there. We'll gladly, or you can go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere books are sold. You will be able to get copies of the books. Now, also, my latest book. Let me back this up a second. I started to explain this book the other day. Lukewarm Saint. Lukewarm Saint, as you see, I want you to see the tricky look on his face. This is Kevin, and Kevin is an educator who loves the ladies. The problem is he's also has this reoccurring feeling of negativity, so he's torn between what he loves and what he's feeling. This is his mother and grandmother who are constantly trying to get him to reconsider his actions, and these are his two friends. And his two friends, one is saying you need to change your life and give it to the Lord. The other one is saying, man, bed down as many women as you can. And like many things in life, it comes down to a situation that forces him to make a change. And so again, I wanted to bring that to you, and you can look at the whole title, the whole layout here. And again, these books, my own, Man in Transition, From Gigolo to Jesus, and Lukewarm Saint, were published by me through my company, Belvin Publishing. And this is my latest title. This will be out within about a month, a little less than a month, a little more than a month. But I will definitely set the date and let everyone know. Now, just some quick stuff before I turn the camera around. This was, if you have this article of Ebony, this is February 2012. This is when the Red Tails movie was being released, and they had a special collector's edition of Ebony magazine, because this is called the Black Love issue. And they highlighted couples because of what they felt they brought to the table in reference to black love. Well, look who is in that article. Look who is featured in that magazine. Yes, that is my wife and I. My lovely wife, Tiffany, and I were featured in Ebony in February 2012 because of what we were able to accomplish in our relationship, the way we were able to deal with the baby mama drama, the cheating and everything else, as well as writing the books and creating a company. And love doesn't have to hurt. And it actually says we walk a fine line between our needs and those of our partners. Self-love helps us find a balance. It's a steadying force to let us risk vulnerability without fearing pain or a loss of identity. Now, why is this so incredible? My lovely wife is the author of this article. We co-signed it, sent it to him. We did not know it was Ebony at the time, and then they let us know that they had accepted the article and we were featured in Ebony magazine in 2012. So it's not just me talking junk. My wife and I have been living this and talking about this. Now, this book here, Wordplay 1, is one of the poetic anthologies that we created. I am actually one of the featured poets in this book. It features 11 different poets, and it gave light to all of us as poets an opportunity to showcase our talents. Another anthology that I am a part of, don't know if you can see that. It says Love Like God. It's an anthology that my wife and I were invited to take part in. And so the reason why I'm showing you, now I can turn that around. Okay. So the reason why I showed you all that, let me cover this up. Got my taco meat here. That's not sexy. It's not the 70s. But the reason why I showed you all that is because I have a literary history. And so I'm not just talking to be talking. I'm not jumping on scopes to try to get your attention. I have written books and I have a literary history, but I also understand the grind, and it is not easy. And so I make an attempt to try to help other authors on a regular. No, I am not the most known author because I don't go out and hustle like other authors, because I have a full-time job. I am a full-time educator. I am a mentor. I do a lot of things. The books is just one stream of income. Thank you so much, darling. And bless you. And at least, Gabriel, let me tell you something. Whatever you need, I got you. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Hold on. Whoa. What am I doing? Wait a minute. I almost forgot. I'm glad you said something to me, Miss Gabriel. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Come Christmas, if you don't run out and get this book, The Soul of a Man, Part 2. Now, I showed you the first one. Let me show it to you again. This is the first one. I just explained to you the history behind that one. So now, fast forward to 2015, the incredible Miss Gabriel decided we got to do this again. We're going to rewrite the narrative and show folks that not only could brothers of color do it one time, we can do it a second time. So The Soul of a Man 2, Make Me Wanna Holler, features this time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 brothers. Added 3 more to the original 13 who have come together to show you the talent that brothers of color can put down in a piece of work that's going to inspire you, to touch you, to move you. And I know the piece that I wrote about my father and I'm sure it'll hit home with some of you, especially when you let the males read it. And that was one of the hidden beauties of the original work, is that it allowed men to feel comfortable about some of their inadequacies. This one will do the same and more so. So ladies, I don't care if he doesn't read. You get this on Christmas, wrap it up and give it to him, and just tell him, take time out to read it, and he will find himself. He will see himself, his father, his brothers, his uncles. He will find some of the males around him when he reads this book. It is due out on Christmas. Make sure that you look out for Peace in the Storm Publications or Braven Publishing. I will have it, and I will gladly sign copies to all that want it, because I am so excited about this book, because I know what the first one did. I know what happened in 2009. Well, now, some 6 years later, we get to do it all over again. And all of these men here are outstanding authors. And those of us that are returning from the first book, we've all grown as men. We've all grown as literary providers. So the words is just going to be devastating. So please make sure that you get this piece of work here. And there was one that I forgot. Okay, here we go. Soldiers of the Cross. actually, this was born from Soul of a Man. Isaiah David Paul and Maurice M. Gray are two of the soul brothers who were in Soul of a Man, and we decided to do an anthology, Soldiers of the Cross. So we did an inspirational Christian fictional anthology that we put together ourselves. And so we met from Soul of a Man, extended it to this book here, and felt that this was a very outstanding book too. So another book that you can check out, and I believe that one is listed on my website too. But now back to this one here. Let me tell you something. And you guys that are on, hey, where the hearts at? Let's go. Get them hearts up. Some good information here. I'm heart pimping right now. But you guys that are on, Miss Gabriel, I believe is still on. Please look her up and make sure that you follow her. Make sure that you search Peace in the Storm Publications. Look at all the wonderful authors and titles that she puts out. There we go. There go the hearts I'm talking about. Make sure you check her out. Make sure that you support the authors that she signs, because she puts out quality work. She does quality work, and I'm so happy to have stood with her on numerous occasions, and she supports me and I support her, and I'm so happy to be a part of the second installment of this work here. So I definitely wanted to bring that up. Now, back to me. So you guys that are still with me, I appreciate it. If you're watching on replay, again, I appreciate it. But like I said, I do these things. Thank you so much. You're exceptional yourself. I do these things because I want folks to know I'm a real dude. This is what I do. But I don't have a problem that people don't know me, because I work hard every day. I'm not worried about being famous. I'm not worried about any of those things. What I'm worried about is if the things that I am saying and doing are helping others. What I rely on is you guys that are watching to let other people know. Share this on Twitter. Share this with your followers. Let other people that you know, hey, you need to check out that brother K.L. Belvin. You need to have that brother K.L. Belvin come and speak at your school, your church. You need to have your uncle, your brother, your son. Check him out or speak to him or talk to him. He can help you because he used to be whatever. That is what my books do. So when you purchase my book, I'm not asking you to purchase my book because I just want you to buy it. No. When you purchase my book, have in mind who you want to give it to. Have in mind who you think is going to help. Think about who right now is living their life filthy but needs to transition into something better, but you don't know how to bridge that conversation. Take my book. Say, this dude right here was nasty. This dude right here had abortions, miscarriages. This dude right here just treated women awful. Now look what he is. Look at how he sounds. Look at what he's doing. You could do the same. Open that door. Have that conversation. This is what I do. And so when I do these scopes, and I don't care how long they are, I'm really not, because I feel the information is needed to get out. And I'm going to take as much time as I need to do it, simply because I want to try to answer as many questions as possible. And feel free to pop in any questions that you have as I'm speaking. Is that I want you to be able to show this to a female friend, a male friend, and say, yo, this dude can help. Just reach out. Hopefully something that I've said in this scope is going to be able to help you find yourself, help you figure out something that you're in. If you're in a relationship with somebody and it's not working, you go, well, my man don't sound like him. Don't compare him to me, but listen to some of the things that I'm saying so you can judge for yourself if the relationship is worthwhile. These are the things that I do. Actually, I want to, and I read this the other day. I read the piece for my my wife, but this one, I'm gonna read this one for the brothers, or actually, yeah, I'm gonna read this one for the brothers, because I think too often brothers worry about being Superman to their kids when all they really need to do is be dad. So I'm going to read you that one. And the title of this piece is called "I May Not Be Superman, But I'm Dad." So you can read along with me. Actually, okay, hold up. Okay, man, in transition. There we go. So that's the book that I'm reading from right there. So leave that right there. That's what I'm reading from. I may not be Superman, but I'm Dad. That's the title of the piece. I am flawed, not perfect. My strength is normal, but my heart is big. I haven't been to every match, game, or event. My soul was there when I thought of your performance. I did love your mother then, but parenting doesn't require a loving union, just a respectful one. I may not be Superman, but I'm Dad. As you grow, discontent, confusion, anger, and despair may try to set in. My arms, eyes, and ears are open, and I am here for you when you're ready. The Cosbys are real, and you could become Theo or Vanessa. However, I'm not Cliff Huxtable. so our problems won't end in an hour with a poignant lecture and a smile. I may not be Superman, but I'm Dad. You're neither the only one I have, nor the only one I love. But I have had no one to show me or tell me a father is more than a bedfellow. Your desires are big and your dreams even bigger. My prayers are greater than both, since I know who and what I don't want you to become. I may not be Superman, but I'm Dad. You will hear so much about me from so many sources. Our time together should heal some of the wounds they open and keep open. Leave your faith in God. He blessed you with life. I pray one day we'll sit and I'll try to explain that I am not Superman. I am Dad. And you see, I wrote that because so many fathers try so hard to be a Superman to their children, when all they have to do is just be Dad. Stop trying to be the outstanding cape wearing. If you spend time with your children and just be the dad that they need, they will elevate you to superhero status so quickly that you don't have to do anything else. And this is what I try to bring to the table to offer to whoever I speak with, is that we make things more difficult than it has to be. God didn't make things this difficult. We created the issue. You got men that won't fix their home situations, but yet go out and create new lives with new women and create new babies before they take care of the old babies. I'm not saying that the other children, not old babies. I apologize for that. That's disrespectful. And when I sit and speak with them, they try to come up with so many excuses. The mother this, the mother that. Stop. The children didn't ask to be here. And the child or children have their own set of feelings, their own set of situations. And if the mother is preventing those, then you do all you can to fight for whatever time the judge will give you until the child is old enough to understand, I will choose to spend more time with you. When I was a life coach and I would work with the men 19 to 39 that were mandated by the courts to be able to see their children, one of the frustration things that they would seem to want to blame the mother. First of all, you laid down with her, so stop, shut your mouth. And I was blunt and I was real, because you can't now complain about the chick you impregnated when you chose to impregnate her. Second thing, that child is your responsibility regardless of whatever the situation is between you and the mother. So if the court say you can only see your child for 2 hours, you make those the greatest 2 hours of the week. You make those 2 hours so great that the child is sitting around on the edge of their seat waiting for the next 2 hours. The mother can't control that. And over time, if you're consistent at being the dad that you should be, not only do you become the superhero, your child will stop believing lies if they're really lies. But if she's just blatantly telling the truth because you are all these foolish things that she says you are, then you have become that in your child's eyes because it's your fault for leaving her that type of information to use against you. And ladies, don't stop him or prevent him from being dad because he couldn't be your husband. He couldn't be your man. Don't prevent him from doing what he does with his children because you're jealous that he didn't do those things for you. Stop. Yes, I know it hurts when you see him having such a great time with his children, but yet he act like you don't exist. I know it hurts when he's showering them with kisses and everything else, but he can't seem to understand your name, or he keeps bringing that chick around and all of that. As long as he's not being rude and disrespectful to you, as long as he's not putting his hands on you or those children, step back. Give him his space. Give him his time. You're still going to be their mother. You're still going to be the main person in their lives if they're living with you. But by design, those children need their father. And if he's making an attempt, fight with him to keep doing it. Find a way. If you got to do whatever on your end to make sure that those kids is in position, if he's doing it, now a key word is if he's doing it, you assist. That is your job as a mother too. So you see, y'all can dislike each other and still be about those children. My ex-wife does not like me at all, and I understand wholeheartedly. I don't like the old me. So I understand why she hates the old me. But she never prevented me from having a role in my children's lives. Now, yes, she put some roadblocks up. And she set some potholes. And she did some things to try to slow me down as a father. But my consistency with my sons outweighed that. remove those roadblocks. My faith in God and making sure I was doing what I was supposed to do. That she could never say money wasn't there. She could never say he didn't spend time. She could never say he's abusing him. She could never say the woman I brought around him is no good. None of that. So once that was off the table, what could she do other than hate me? Nothing but allow me to be the father that I am and was and am to my children. So I say all this to say this. I hope and pray. I hope and pray that this has helped you understand where my books come from, understand who I am as an author. And part of the reason why you don't see me talk about my work as much as I should, my work comes from a very strong place, my heart. And I don't like to equate my heart to business, even though books is my business. So I have to remind myself sometimes as an author, yes, I must promote. Yes, I must market myself. Yes, I am a brand. KL Belvin is the brand. I got that. But I never wanted to be confused that what I'm doing is for money. And I believe that's why I don't promote my books or what my books are or my poetry or some of the stuff the way that I should. I'm getting there. I've been in the game for a long time. I'm getting there because I still get emotional about trying to save lives. And I believe that my work has done that, is doing that, and will do that. So again, share this with the people on your list. Remember, you can share it by sliding up or down, left or right, depending on the phone that you have. Share it on Twitter to let folks know to come and listen to this. Share it with the people that are following you so they can come and listen to this. Remember to give hearts if you're listening on replay, because I'm still trying to figure out what all the hearts do, but it's part of the game, so give them to me. If you need to reach me, main office at bravenpublishing.com. My website, I'll give it to you again. And actually somebody told me to make sure I leave it up. Okay. Oh, I didn't turn the camera around. Okay, there's my website, bravenpublishing.com. That is where you can get all the books. If you want to set up to have me come and speak, feel free. And that's another reason I don't get on and beg about coming to speak, is because I remember I was asked to speak at a place in New Jersey. And we had already set up all the honorarium amounts and everything like that. And then they called me back last minute and said, we got someone bigger than you to come and speak. So I'm sorry, we're not going to have you come and speak. I'm not going to say the name of the individual. And the crazy part is someone showed me a video from the event. And he gave the same speech that he gave at 2-3 other things that I heard him speak at. And I thought to myself, those people paid to come and listen to a speech that's been on YouTube for 2 or 3 or 4 years now. But I'm the nobody. It's funny the things that if you allow it to creep in, what it could actually make you think about yourself. But what I realized is they took a loss. They paid him more and got less. So I actually had to laugh, because I said, not only would they have saved money, I know damn well every person that would have heard me speak would have took something from that day and would have had exactly. But I said, no problem, simply because you know what? This is what it is. So here's what I do. I don't stress, because I have come to learn that the message that I have falls right on the ears of the people that need to hear it. Whether I'm small, large, or big, I'm large to some people, small to others. But who I am as a child of God is someone who is a conduit from the Lord himself to the message that I give. And those that have been healed by it, you couldn't actually give me money for that. And I've had strangers' lives changed because of words that I've given them. And I know they're not mine, that they were given to me. But yes, I'm a professional speaker too. So if you need me, reach out and we'll work something out. But like I said, I have to remind myself that these are some of the avenues that I am in business to do, because I do so much help for free. I don't think about charging sometimes. And it's not that I'm charging for the sake of charging. I'm charging because I got to pay for gas or a hotel or whatever the situation is, or I got to buy books or whatever it is. And do you know that some churches have even turned me away because my history of my sexual history, they don't want discussed in church. But I'm like, how could you not want to hear the testimony when that is not who I am now? So are we not reading the Bible and reading that some murderers became prophets or saints? So there's a lot that goes behind this business thing. But again, if you need to reach out to me, main office at bravenpublishing.com. Website is www.bravenpublishing.com. I am on Facebook, KL Belvin, Google Plus, KL Belvin, Twitter, KL Belvin, also on Twitter, Braven Books. And again, feel free to share this with your followers, share this with your friends, share this with people on Twitter. And if you need to reach out to me directly, please do. Because I always like to talk to those to hear how the message is helping them. I spoke to, as my niece is still there, my adopted niece. We met here on Scope and then connected on Facebook. And her words have really moved me, because when she said that she listened to some of the things that I've said and it helped change some things in her life, that's the blessing of doing these scopes and anything else. So again, this is KL Belvin. I am saying goodbye. I don't know how much more I'm going to continue about my books this week. I will find something else to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to reflect on the interview I had, because I have another one next Tuesday in Delaware. So I have to get on the road Monday night. So pray for me. I'll pray for you. And I wish all of you guys the best who have hung in there to the end. Take care. God bless.